But for right now, on the metric system, I have the prefix up here on the board for the metric system, khdmdcm. King Henry died Monday drinking chocolate milk. If you did not put that in your planner, you need to do that, okay? You don't have to write the entire thing out, but you do have to put KHD, King Henry died Monday drinking chocolate milk. Let me explain, okay? Drawing number 22 is the first drawing in the book that is metric. Did anyone do drawing 22? It is in metric. Okay, drawing 22, metric. What that means is it is not in inches, it is in millimeters. Okay? So, two ways you can do that. If you want to take on a drawing in metric, you can either do the mathematical conversions that 25.4 millimeters is an inch, or you can just flip your ruler over, and on the other side of the ruler it has millimeters. Okay? Heidi, would you grab me a ruler over there that is one of the white ones that says reduce, reuse, recycle? Okay, now let me explain what those prefixes mean. Does anyone know what the K in the metric system means? I'm going to give you a quiz over this, and you're going to have to write these prefixes out. So, it is kilo. Kilo for like kilometer. Kilo means 1,000. Okay? The only thing you have to know from this is the prefixes are KHD, King Henry died Monday, right up here, drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died Monday drinking chocolate milk. Now what this means, these are the prefixes for the metric system. M is meter. A meter is about the size of a yard. Okay? A kilometer is 1,000 meters. Hectometer is 100 meters. Deca is 10, like decade. Decade, 10 years. Okay? So this would be 10 meters. Then you get smaller than 1 and you go into the fractions. Deci, like a decimal. A decimal, 1/10 of a meter. A centimeter is 1/10 of a meter. There is 2.54 centimeters in an inch, or 25.4 millimeters. Someday you will have to know this. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday, and it's one of those things where I go, yeah, I think kids should know that. In a centimeter, 25.4, oh, I'm sorry, 2.54 centimeters. A millimeter is 25.4 millimeters in an inch. Okay? So, if you guys have ever used metric tools, you may look at it and go, this makes no sense. Okay, you have no idea where to start. It really makes more sense than the standard system, right? Because since everything is base 10, all you have to do is move the decimal point over. Okay? If I'm going from millimeters to centimeters, I move my decimal point over one spot. And now 25.4 becomes 2.54 because I moved the decimal point over 1. Okay? If you look at drawing 22, it says dimensions are in millimeters. Dimensions are in millimeters. That drawing number 22, if you look on there, it says that it is 100 millimeters. 100 millimeters would be about how many inches? 4. Good. Whoever said 4 is absolutely right. Because 4 times 25 is 100. So that's 100 millimeters. That's easy. Cheesy and Japanesey. Okay? 25.4. Now, if there's 25.4 millimeters in an inch, then if you needed a wrench that was about a half of an inch, here's the easy way to remember that conversion. Half of 25 is 12.7. Half of 25.4 is about 12. And I always remember 12 millimeters is about a half of an inch. Okay? 12, think of 1 over 2. It's really 12.7, but so it's closer to 13. But if you are on the computer and you're doing metric, you just convert over by going up to the grid and changing it from inches to, no, millimeters, centimeters, whatever you want to go by. How many of you guys have ever used metric in working on an object and you got like a 10 millimeter wrench, 11 millimeter? Tell me what you think's easier. 10 millimeter wrench, 11 millimeter wrench, 12 millimeter, 13, everything's a whole number. And our system, our standard system, we have 1/4, and then after 1/4 we have like 5/16, and then we have 6/16, which you have to change to 3/8, and then you have to go back to the next one and go 7/16, and you have all those different fractions. Isn't it easier to just move the decimal point over? Okay, so this is pretty short lesson, but metric system is good to know. It's just another unit of measuring. Rather than using inches and feet and yards and miles, we use kilometers. And if you're not paying attention, I think what I'll do is just give a quiz to the people not paying attention. If you're not respectful enough to give me attention for 7.5 minutes, then you got issues. Okay? The metric system. Raise your hand if you can tell me what all the prefixes are. Kilo, hecta, what's the next one? Deca, like the Deca store. Okay? And then meters, Now, the M changes, because the M is for meter, which is measuring distances, right? Remember, our 16ths, our inch, we measure all the 16ths, the eighths, the half, the quarter, and then we go to feet. And then we go, 12 inches in a foot, 3 feet in a yard, 1,760 yards in a mile, or 5,280 feet in a mile. Now, when you do these same conversions on the metric system, all you have to do is move your decimal point over every time. Okay? When we do ounces and cups and pints and quarts and gallons, we go from ounces to cups to pints. And how many ounces, cups, pints, quarts in a gallon? Well, it's not as easy as moving the decimal place over. You have to go, there's 8 ounces in a cup. There is 2 cups in a pint. There is 2 pints in a quart. There is 4 quarts in a gallon. So it's 8, 2, 2, 4, which I always say, just remember, it's like if you're going to add them up, 8 equals 2 plus 2 plus 4. But you have to remember it goes ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallons. That's a lot harder to remember than measuring just by moving the decimal point over, right? Okay, last thing I'm going to mention. Any questions on the metric system? This middle unit then can change from M to liter, which is measuring the volume, like ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallon. It can also change to grams, okay? It could change for weight. So just like we measure a pound, 16 ounces in a pound, and then, 2,000 pounds in a ton, they just measure it with grams, and every time you move the decimal place over. It's easy, okay? The other thing I'm going to mention, this class, I have a checklist of things where I go, really, remember, it's just a sampling. It's just a sampling of a lot of little different things. If you like it, you can take it more next year for semester. If you like it a lot, you can take it for 4 years in high school. 4 years of drafting, 4 years of DECA, 4 years of wood shop, 4 years of engineering, 4 years of agriculture, whatever you want to take. It is a sampling. But what I am doing, fourth quarter, we're going to do a DECA competition. And the DECA competition is going to be open to all the kids that I've had that entire year. So it's going to be after we've had all the kids, and we're going to do a little DECA competition that is optional. If you want to do it, you can do it, but you don't have to. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Sometimes I do little clubs, and I go, if I had you anywhere throughout the year, you can come in and participate in this. And I thought I'd wait till fourth quarter to do that. And I also look at doing like an after-school club where we do drafting, computer-aided drafting, and things like that for people that want to be there. Because some people are like, I really want to